Hi, I'm Linda Jackson with the Major Taylor Cycling Club of Oklahoma, and you are tuned in to Rolling Out.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Portia Monique, and today I'll be your host. And today joining us is Linda Jackson, who is the Vice President of the Major Taylor Cycling Club of Oklahoma. Welcome to the show, Linda.
Thank you, Portia. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. We are here to celebrate something monumental, right? So, walk us through what the Ride for Equity is, the Ride to Remember, how they all connect, and tell us what you guys have going on over there in Tulsa, as well as some of these other legs where you guys are riding in.
Osborne Celestine, he's the executive director of the Community Light Foundation, and that's a nonprofit organization where they raise funds to help eradicate food insecurities here in the Tulsa area.
Mhm.
And as a former board member of his organization, he reached out to me and asked me if I could just be a listening ear on a meeting. He was contacted by some local business people here in the Tulsa area because they had been contacted by DeJuan Dandridge from the Black Leaders of Detroit from a vision that he had. You know, he wanted to bring some awareness to his organization. And what they had decided to do was thrive from Black Wall Street to Wall Street.
I love it.
Yes. And so in doing so and listening into the conversation, providing my input and feedback and just sharing how timely that they contacted, Osborne in a timely manner because the Black Wall Street Ride to Remember annual ride was coming up and was, just in the planning stages for its fourth annual ride. And that would have been a great kickoff for the Ride for Equity.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's taking place tomorrow, May 31st at 7 a.m. here in Greenwood, here right on Black Wall Street. The first half, the business leaders, Black leaders of Detroit, everyone is going to start out together.
Okay.
And we're going to ride together for about 12, 15 miles. And then they're going to divert off of the route, the official route for Black Wall Street Ride to Remember.
Okay.
And then they're going to regroup and there'll be, a gathering there, another send-off type of situation, because riders ride at different speeds. So we got to make sure that we have everyone that's leaving with us from that point forward, because definitely when you're cycling, it's a safety issue and you want to make sure that everyone that involved is taken care of.
Now, how many total miles are we talking about when it comes to cycling?
For this particular venture, it is 1,645 miles.
So how are we calculating that? How does that work?
On average, we're cycling about 60 miles every day for 6 days. And then on the seventh day, we're resting. So each day we'll, as I said, cycle for about 60 miles. We'll stop at a hotel, or perhaps if someone has sponsored in one of the cities, a host stay in their home. So we will get an opportunity to relax and recuperate for the next day's journey. And they're also, because my family asks me this all the time about, safety. I said, no, we will have what they call SAG wagons, which is your support and gear team. So we'll have vehicles rolling with us, some in the lead and some in the rear. And so we're the riders will be kind of sandwiched in between.
Mm-hmm. So I love that. Now I want to, before I get to my next cycling question, I do want to go back on why Black Leaders of Detroit is doing this cross country ride as well. I do understand that it is to raise awareness and funds for entrepreneurs of African descent, but you explained it to me. How did the connection come about with you and DeJuan and these two organizations? I heard you talk about it briefly earlier, but we wanted to kind of hone in on that as well.
Yeah. So again, I was on the board for Community Light Foundation and actually Osborne is our Tulsa director for our Tulsa chapter for Major Taylor Cycling Club. So that is how we have that connection. And so we've worked together on other projects. And as I said, he asked me just to sit in and to be a listening ear. As I did, I was like, well, how can we, Major Taylor, also support this movement, this initiative, this adventure?
Yeah.
And so I'm here representing our organization, and we have volunteers that will be at the Speak for Yourself event that's going on this evening, helping with setup and participating the event itself.
Okay, so paint the picture for me. So Black Leaders Detroit, they're going to be cycling. You guys are kicking off at the same time. Ride for Equity is Black Leaders of Detroit, and then Ride to Remember is your organization, Major Taylor of Oklahoma Cyclists. How are we connecting? How is the ride going to happen between both of them? Are we meeting in a certain area? Or is everyone taking the full 1,600 miles?
No. So just to clarify, the Black Wall Street Ride to Remember is a Community Light Foundation organized ride.
I got you.
It just so happens that Osborne is a member and a director of the Tulsa chapter for Major Taylor.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Three
Yes.
different organizations.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's three different organizations here: Black Leaders Detroit, Community Light Foundation, and Major Taylor Cycling Club of Oklahoma. So what that looks like is that on tomorrow morning, they'll meet at the OSU Tulsa campus, which is right on Greenwood, and we'll kick off at 7 a.m. And we will have so the Black Wall Street Ride to Remember, it generally brings in roughly about 250 riders itself. And so we'll have a handful of riders that are participating. I don't have the exact count of how many people are specific to the Ride for Equity that's kicking off here from Black Wall Street. I do know that there are 6 of us that's doing the entire leg from Black Wall Street, Tulsa, to Wall Street, New York City. And there are also kicking off tomorrow, I think approximately 20 plus people who are riding the first 3 days with us. And then they're going back home. So that's still within itself just a major commitment and feat for anyone.
Absolutely. And so you have committed to the full 1,645 miles.
I have.
What inspired you to commit to that?
Well, what inspired me is sitting in on their planning meeting and just being so excited for both of these organizations and what this national attention will bring to their organizations, helping them meet their mission goals. As I'm sitting there, I'm like, Linda, you are on the ground floor of this. Are you really going to let this once in a lifetime opportunity pass you by? Now, whether what's for the future, if these type of rides will happen again, don't know.
Right.
But what's happening right now, today, that's placed before you, what are you going to do?
What you gonna do?
And I was like, I'm going to ride. Yeah.
Such an inspiration when people see you out there making a difference in writing. I'm sure you're going to inspire so many others to simply want to participate, simply want to get involved, simply want to donate and sponsor and give funds and all of that. So yes, definitely. Now, where do we find more information out specifically about the ride? How do we contribute? How do we add to it?
Well, how you can help is Black Leaders of Detroit. Their website is www.ride4equity.org.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go up there, you can sign up. You can sign up for a 1-day ride. You can sign up for multiple day rides. You can also sign up virtually. So you can be at home, whether that's you're riding locally out on the streets in your own neighborhood, if you have a spin class or a Peloton or, a stationary bike, you can get involved that way. And
Okay.
they're also asking that as you sign up and participate, that you raise a donation, at least a minimum of $100 to help contribute towards their mission.
Now let's talk specifically about you. What is your physical and mental preparation? What does that look like for such a long and demanding ride?
So the moment I made the decision to ride, I literally 3 days later, I panicked.
I would too.
The first 3 days, I was so excited and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm getting ready to do this. I told my kids. And then I panicked. I panicked to the point where I couldn't even remember if I knew how to ride a bike. I was like, okay, fueling. And it took a week to calm down from that.
Okay.
And once I did, I was like, okay, Linda, put a plan in place. I used to be an avid runner. I've ran a marathon, I've ran a couple of half marathons. So I know the training that you have to put in for just a
Mhm.
1 day,
Mm,
and it is endurance.
mhm.
So I knew that riding 50 plus miles every day, I'm going to have to work on my endurance, and endurance in the with having your body physically on that seat, because
Yeah,
my legs
yeah.
could be okay, but having that your bum on that saddle,
Yes.
and you're feeling some pains, and then
Yeah,
that gets up to the brain and wants to
yeah.
say, stop, I
Stop,
want to get off.
stop.
Yes. So that was my focus for the last 2.5 months. It's getting out there. So I was doing training rides 4 to 5 times a week, and mixed in there, it wasn't long rides every day.
Right.
It was interval rides. And so that
Mhm.
was working on, my cardio, which, it ties into my endurance. And
Yeah.
then on Saturday, I did my long rides. And again, that was just helping me get my butt on that seat and
That's
get out.
definitely challenging.
Yeah.
I probably would have tried to get another seat.
Regardless of what seat that you have,
It's
you're
still
gonna have
gonna hurt.
yeah.
You're right.
Because just imagine when you're in a car and you're
Yeah,
driving for a few hours, you just want to get out and just stand up and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
stretch. So I could see the improvement,
Mhm.
and it wasn't about strength, but I could see that I was even getting stronger on some of the hills and inclines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that I'm looking forward to see at the end of this journey, what my physical level will
Will
be
be.
bumped up to. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Hmm.
love that for you. And speaking of challenging, again, challenging and or surprising, what has been the best part of preparing for this journey for you? After the anxiety wore off and you were like, okay, I can do this. So anything challenging and or let's just say surprising that came to mind for you?
One of the most surprising thing was the support that I was receiving.
Wow.
Yes, initially there was a few people like, "Are you crazy?" But the overwhelming support that I was receiving from family, friends, and strangers. And as you've already mentioned, it was like they're just like, this is awesome. How many people can say that, they've done this?
Yeah.
And what will this add to your legacy? And
Mm.
I said, yes. I said, my grandchildren get to say, my more, that's my more. And this is
Yeah.
the stock that I come from.
Oh my God, you said grandkids. Girl, you look so young. So
Well, thank you.
you do. Now, what message and or example do you hope to set for young women, especially Black women, who want to lead in their communities and or respective industries?
The example that I want to show for them and lead for them is you have to overcome that fear, and get out there and actually do the thing that you want to do, but also more importantly, the path to getting to where you want to be. Yeah, it's not a straight path, but there will be little tiny things put into your way to help you get to there.
Mhm.
Don't disregard those. Don't think that they
Mhm.
don't have anything to do with your goal or your mission, because I will
Mhm.
tell you this, they do.
They do. Just like that confirmation that we were talking about earlier that says you need to ride. Like I was thinking about it. Well, here you go again,
Exactly.
confirmation.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Would like to add
Mhm.
is that don't be afraid of what other people will think, that what you're doing is so outside of the box. It is not about that other person. It is about you. This is your life. This is your walk. Walk it.
Walk it. Be in control. Take the
Exactly.
reins. A lot of the times, for whatever reason, we may feel like somebody else is in control. This is your life. You are the author. You are the captain. Make sure that you are making decisions that feed your soul. So, yes, absolutely. Now, what do you hope will be the long-term impact of the Ride for Equity on communities and businesses?
What I hope is that there will be some major players out there helping put make things come into alignment,
Hmm.
and that all the necessary resources, skills, and ability just start falling into place,
Hmm.
and doors are opening, and that it's offering these Black entrepreneurs the opportunity, the education, the mentorship, everything that is required for them to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm so very excited for you. I want to talk about some fun stuff before we get out of here. Like, what's your attire? What do you wear for a 60-mile per day ride? What are you
You,
wearing, first off?
you wear, it's called a kit. That is just a fancy word for a short set.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
a cycling jersey
Mm-hmm.
and some shorts. However, the thing is so the material is very soft and it's very breathable. More importantly, your shorts. Your
Mm-hmm.
shorts, there's a padding in the crotch area. And so that helps with the cushioning on the saddle. So I wear a jersey. I have sleeves so that if it's either extremely sunny outside or if it's cold outside, I have sleeves that as the temperature fluctuates, I can remove them
You can
easily. I don't
adjust.
have to worry about, oh, I have on this long sleeve shirt and I can't take
Mm-hmm.
it off and I'm too hot and I'm overheating. Then the same things, I have leg sleeves.
Yeah.
And one thing that I did find in riding an organized ride in Texas, it's called hotter than hell because it is hotter than hell. The radiant heat from the ground,
Uh-huh.
125 degrees. But
Wow.
I did wear long pants and
Yeah.
long sleeves,
Yeah.
because that actually did help keep me cool. So
Cool.
I'm pulling from all of my other experiences and
Mm-hmm.
all my other rides, like, okay, what worked for you here? Okay, you need to make sure you duplicate that for this ride.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, my son helped me. He's into fitness, so he knows that I'm trying to eat as the best that I can and less processed foods. So he did his research and he found me, supplements for me to help, during that time. Because when I work out, I don't want to eat, but it's important that you fuel
It's
your body
important that
because
you
you
have
need
to.
that energy. Yeah.
Hmm. And then last question on the fun stuff. What do you have to have on this ride, right? So what are you packing? What's a must have when you are doing these type of rides? Is it food? Is it gum? Is it like, what is some of the things that you're packing along this ride?
What I've packed definitely are my clothes. So I have my kits. Like I said, most importantly, I made sure that I brought the cycling shorts that have the great padding in them, my cycling shoes. So I am clipped in. So those are just shoes that attach to your pedal. So as you lift
Mm-hmm.
up your feet, your pedal is coming with you. My helmet and my sunglasses, my gloves, and so my water bottles. I also have a camelback. And for me, I like that more so because trying to reach down and pull up your bottle, sometimes you can get a little bit off balance.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I find that if I have my camelback on, I'm drinking more frequently, which is good.
Okay.
You gotta stay hydrated. Fuel is important. So
Mm-hmm.
I will have my own personal snacks that I know I can eat and it's not going to cause my stomach to be upset. Yes,
Yeah.
the Black leaders of Detroit, they are supplying fuel
Oh,
for us. But for the
nice.
first few days, I went ahead and packed I know that I'm good with this because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know exactly what they have on hand yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after that, I can be able to adjust and because I have a box with all of that stuff in. Eventually, that'll be one less item that I have to bring. So I managed to have a suitcase. I have a duffel bag, and the duffel bag is it has my odds and ends in it. It has, my camera that I want to capture, my electronics, my extra pair of cycling shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have my backpack that has all my gear for the day. It houses my helmet, all of my accessories, kit for the day. And I know that as I pack that, everything that I need once I'm on that bike is in that bag.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got it. I have to personally be organized.
Yeah. And how long does it take to do 60 miles in a day? Have you
It
timed that?
depends. No, on average, it just depends on your average speed.
Uh-huh.
So it could take about 5, 6 hours, maybe even 7, depending on what your speed is.
And you guys are doing that straight through?
So we'll stop, we'll stop for,
The breaks.
bathroom breaks. We'll stop for, yeah, just to eat. Sometimes the stops aren't long. They might be 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. And obviously you have them mapped out, so you guys are stopping at different stations, right? So are they mapped out? I guess I should ask your stops.
Yes, so they're mapped out. Yes,
Wonderful.
so the
Well,
logistics of this, they have been working on that, and that was
yeah.
something that being a cyclist and with our organization, we organize rides, and those stops are important.
Well, congratulations. We are excited to see it. So, when you find out how we can go along with this ride, if it's virtual or not, let us know. How do we tune in? How do we tap in? Because we definitely are going to be doing just that. How do we connect with you and all of the different organizations, social media wise and otherwise?
Yes, most definitely. So definitely, if you want to reach out to us, Major Taylor Cycling Club of Oklahoma. We're at www.majortaylorccok.org. And then there's Community Light Foundation, and they are www.thecommunitylight.org.
And then for Dwan's organization, Black Leaders of Detroit.
Yes, it is www.ride, the number 4, equity.org.
Well, we certainly appreciate your time. We will have to follow up with you to see how you fared after those 6 days. We know that you're going to do fantastic. So we can't wait to see it. And however we can tune in and support and donate and contribute, we will be there for it. So thank you so much for tuning in to Rolling Out. We appreciate you.